Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the Bitcoin price is playing out some shorter-term bearish price action as expected. And in case you missed my recent videos over the past 1 to 2 days, the reason why I expected some shorter-term bearish price action here is due to the fact that we were seeing multiple bearish signals here on the total crypto market cap chart on the daily time frame. Just to quickly recap, of course, we have this bearish divergence here on the daily time frame, which is a bearish signal, basically telling us that this bullish trend is losing some of that bullish momentum. And on top of that, another signal that I'll let you know about yesterday was this coming bearish cross in the daily MACD, which at the time of recording this video, we are currently seeing this bearish cross right now, but really we need to see a daily candle close to actually confirm it. And just going off these signals alone on the daily time frame for the total crypto market cap, these signals usually take at least a few days to play out, but can take up to a couple weeks to play out. And so based on that, I'm simply leaning more bearish than bullish in the shorter term, talking about the day-to-day price action, as I'll let you know around here just before the drop recently. And now heading over to the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, what we're seeing at the moment is pretty much all three of these indicators point in the bearish direction. And the last couple times we saw that happen was back in early March and also in the middle of February, which basically resulted in some more bearish price action that lasted for around 1 week and up towards around 2 weeks in length. Now, obviously, I don't expect the same thing playing out exactly again, but we can use these previous examples as reference points for what we could expect moving forward. And also keep in mind, if you're actually measuring from the local high, then we've already been in this somewhat neutral to bearish trend for around a week. But up until yesterday, this was mostly just neutral. We were simply trading sideways until, as I mentioned yesterday, we are starting to see some more bearish signals. And of course, we saw that drop more recently. And if you're zooming out to the daily Bitcoin chart, right now, Bitcoin is trading below 45,000 at the time of recording this video, which is obviously not a bullish thing, but keep in mind, we did see a wick below 45,000 just a few days ago. So we still need to see a daily candle close below 45,000. And the next daily candle close is in around 9 hours from now. So obviously that will be something important to pay attention to, because I've been mentioning over the past few days, if we see a confirmed break below 45K, then we need to start reassessing the situation here. Because if the Bitcoin price breaks back into this price range that we've been in over the past 2 months, then basically the breakout that we saw a little over a week ago just turned out to be another fake out. But even though all of this is still obviously important to pay attention to, of course, we still have some other levels of support. For example, looking at our Fibonacci levels here on the daily Bitcoin chart. First of all, in terms of resistance, we still have that 50% level coming in at just underneath 48,000. But if you're looking at this previous 38.2% Fibonacci level, which did act as resistance in early January, currently at the time of recording this video, that is acting as a bit of short-term support for Bitcoin, coming into play at just underneath 44,000. And that ties into what we are seeing in the Bitcoin order books across all of these exchanges. Right now, we have a lot of buy orders coming into play underneath 44,000, and we still have a lot of buy orders going all the way down towards the lower $40,000 prices, which should act as support for Bitcoin if we do end up going into those lower $40,000 prices. And on the flip side, what is very interesting at the moment is if you're looking at the sell orders, we actually don't have a lot of sell orders on these exchanges in comparison to the buy orders. So as of right now, the Bitcoin order books across these exchanges are actually looking pretty good. But with that being said, there are two other reasons why Bitcoin is playing out some bearish price action at the moment. And one of those reasons is the 3-day Bitcoin RSI running into this major point of resistance. If you're looking at the last time the 3-day Bitcoin RSI ran into this line of resistance, that was actually during November last year. And obviously you can see what came next. So that was a bearish signal getting a rejection from that level. But there is still a couple differences between what we are seeing right now in the 3-day Bitcoin RSI and what we saw back in November. And one of those differences is the fact that back in November, the 3-day Bitcoin RSI was up towards overbought territories, whereas right now we're at almost the middle of the RSI in the neutral range. So back in November, we did have a lot more room to the downside compared to right now. And also what we saw during November was a bearish cross in the 3-day Bitcoin MACD, which we have not seen right now. So yes, this could be a bearish signal for Bitcoin if we do see a further rejection and a possible bearish cross in the MACD. But technically speaking, we're currently not in the same situation as what we were in back in November. And the second reason why Bitcoin is playing out some bearish price action right now is if you're looking at the US stock market today, this right here is the S&P 500 index on the daily time frame. And straight away, the S&P 500 index opened below yesterday's daily candle close. So the stock market immediately began today in the red. And throughout the day so far, we have seen a bit more of a pullback as well. And as I've mentioned time and time again, if the stock market is overly bullish, then it's very likely that crypto like Bitcoin is going to be really bullish. For example, over the past 3 weeks, both the stock market and crypto were very bullish. But then more recently, the stock market has played out a bit of a pullback here, which is also one of the main reasons why Bitcoin is playing out a bit of a pullback at the moment. But something important to mention here is the fact that the S&P 500 index on the daily chart has formed a gap in the price. And when you're talking about the stock market, we almost always see those gaps get filled, which means we could see a bounce back up to actually fill that gap. Like how just the other week we formed a gap on the way up, and I basically said we're actually due to see a bit of a pullback to fill that gap. And obviously we did end up seeing that play out. But even though we could be due for a bounce to fill that gap, right now we haven't confirmed a bounce just yet, which means technically speaking, if you're simply looking at the chart, the stock market is clearly still in this short-term pullback, which is going to put some pressure on crypto prices while this is happening. But some important levels of support in the S&P 500 index to pay attention to are coming in at this 50% level, which is sitting at around 4,450, and anything below that, I'll be looking towards around 4,370. But with that being said, this pullback, at least as of right now, has not changed the larger trend that has been forming since the end of February, because technically speaking, we are still looking at higher highs, and also we haven't formed a new lower low just yet. And the same goes for the daily RSI as well. Technically speaking, this is still in an uptrend at the time of recording this video, and I will be sure to update you if anything changes here on this channel and also on my Twitter. So in case you don't already follow me over on my Twitter, then make sure you're doing that, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video, you might as well leave a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. And before you click off, if you want to make more money in crypto, even if prices are going down, then these two videos popping up right here on your screen are definitely made for you. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.